is up? What is up? So, today I thought I'd go live and record at the same damn time. So, we're going to do this at the same damn time. We are going to prep for a video that I'm making. So, I figure it just makes it easier to do everything all at once, get some content in. And we are going to be using this floor lamp. I had an install for Mardi Gras a couple days ago, and the balloon store that I go to get a lot of my supplies didn't have any stands available. So I had to buy these from Walmart. So, and these are only $14, which is pretty cool. They come in different colors, but I just got the white one. That's how it looks. I just got the white one. So I'm going to show you partially what's in the box. Not everything that's in the box because I already cut the cord off of it. So there's this cord that comes, it's already attached to the base. Usually, so there's like a long cord that goes all the way through the stand. And this is the base, and then the cord usually comes out right here. So I cut that. This is where the light would go. So this is the base. This is there would be, I'll show you the pole, how you construct it. And then this would be in the top. And so it's just like a standard lamp. And then this goes. So if you need a lamp, great. But the only thing is you're going to have to cut this in order to use the lamp stand as a balloon stand. So that's how it goes as a complete set. But I didn't need this part, so I cut it. I don't need this part. I guess you can use that for something, but we are not going to need that. The only thing we're going to need is the base and the sticks that come with it. So, put that aside. Over there. So then it comes with... So let's compare it. So this is the stand that I usually buy. It's pretty decent weight. And I would say this is actually heavier. So if you see circumference rise, this is $35. This one was $14 from Walmart. This one was from a local balloon store. So you can see the difference in size. If you like more of a square look, you get this one. If you don't mind destroying a lamp, buy this one because I feel like this one feels heavier. I don't know the poundage on this, but this one feels heavier, so I actually might start buying these instead of instead of my traditional one. So with the balloon stand, with the lamp stand, you'll have your base. There's like a threaded situation here that's already there. And then it comes with these poles. I believe it's 4 poles for each stand. And then each pole has its own little threaded situation. So each pole, this is about like, I don't know, each stick is about 12 inches. So you're just going to screw these together. Screw 1 to 1. Screw this together, and then I'm going to make this one as full length as possible. When I use this for the Mardi Gras, I only needed 3 of these sections, but I'm going to use all the sections so you guys can see, so that way we don't have to change angles. Let's go. I just joined. What are we doing? We are making a... Who is that? Harper Plays a Lot. We are making a balloon stand out of a lamp stand. So once you have the size that you want, you're going to thread these. Thread this just by... I started doing this. I feel like it's quicker. So once you get it on there and threaded a little bit, you can do it that way. And then this is from floor to... about, what is this, 3 feet? 1, 2, 3, 4 feet. So this is 4 feet tall. So I'm gonna do one more stick. And I actually bought like 3 of these. So now if you were doing a Mardi Gras themed anything, I'm gonna show you like how to use these stands as like centerpieces. So I would, for a centerpiece, I would only use like 1 section or 2 with the base, and then looking for my balloons, sorry. And then if you don't like the color, it really doesn't matter what color stand you buy. Where's my balloons at? Oh, here we go. There we go. It really doesn't matter what color stand you buy because you're gonna cover this. I'm gonna show you how. So we're gonna imagine that we're only doing the 2 sections, and this is gonna be on a table. So we're thinking adult Mardi Gras milestone birthday. Okay. Let's see who else. Can you say my friend's name? He said he is Mike. Who's Mike? Mike last name. Okay. So you are in New Orleans? No, I'm actually in California, but there was a corporate event that I did a couple days ago. It was Mardi Gras themed, and so it kind of got my mind spinning on what other Mardi Gras themed things I could do. Okay. And so you're gonna get a 260, and we're gonna blow this guy up. So you're gonna put the 260 on your hand pump. Hey everyone. Scott Cravens, what's up? Why is this not working? Hold on. Okay, here we go. So you're gonna pump this up, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do 5. 5 times, like this. And then you're gonna tie it at the end. I like to pinch it, let some air out, and then tie it. You're gonna do that. And so this side that's knotted, you're gonna put on the end, and you're just gonna push it down. Push the pole down through the middle, and you're kind of gonna feel that the pole is going through. But you're gonna try and keep it in the middle. Don't let go, because if you let go, it will like fly off. So you're gonna go down as far as you can. Once you have it down to where it feels like it's getting, sorry if it's squeaky. Once you have it down to where it feels like it's getting kind of tight, you want to get some scissors. Pinch the end. And make a little cut. If there's still air in it, you just squeeze out the air. Just squeeze out the air. It'll come out. So you see how the air's coming out, air's coming out. But that happens too. So if it pops, that's fine. You can just roll it down. But try not to let it pop. But if it does pop, just roll the excess down to the bottom. If you can get it as far down as you can on your, because that covered 2 sections. So I should have just did maybe 4 pumps instead of 5. It's a little powder. And then now this is covered. So you don't have to paint it. You don't have to do anything like that. It's already covered. It's not covered all the way down because I'm imagining that this is a tabletop. So it's covered 2 1/3 of a section, which is good enough for a mini column or a tabletop centerpiece. And so you're gonna go from there. And then once you have that, you're gonna get your balloons. Now, if you're doing tabletop, you don't want the balloons too big. You wanna keep them at a good size. Let's see. Where are all my balloons? Oh, okay. Here's the gold. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do this. Bear with me while I gather. 2, 3, 4. And so I'm just getting 4 of each color to show you guys how to make a little spiral. Okay, 4 of each color, done. When it's live, it's live. So we're gonna get our balloon sizer. And we're going to, let's see. I think 7's good. 7 or 8 is kind of a good size for columns. So our 7's going to be on top here. We're going to get our balloons. So I want a spiral, but I want a spiral of just the gold. So we're going to do green and purple together, and then we're going to do the 2 golds together. So you're going to let it push down while releasing some of the air. Let me see if I can hold this so you guys can see it. Push down. And then once it starts to kind of go through, you just stop. Same thing here. Push down. Once it starts to, you want it to go through, but not quickly. You want it to go through with a little tug to it. Once it does that, we tie those 2 together. Boom. So that's that color. And then we're going to do 2 golds. I'll show you why in a minute. Okay, so that's that. And then when you are adding balloons to your pole, if you're trying to create a spiral with several different colors, you want to make sure you have the main color that's the spiral, which I want a spiral of gold. Then that's going to be the one that I have more of, right? And you're always going to cross onto the pole. So you're going to cross. You can either cross before you put it on, or you can cross after you put it on. So like this. So like it's in between and then cross. Doesn't really matter as long as you're crossing, because the crossing is gonna keep the pole, these on the pole. So I have these, they're like this around the pole, but now I'm gonna cross these front 2, right? And then I'm gonna cross the back 2 twice. 1, 2. And then these are gonna be like this. So they're gonna look like, so you see how it's every other color? There's the gold, there's the purple, green. So as I build on top of this, it's gonna spiral around like that. Okay, does that make sense? So we're gonna do that, and it's gonna go all the way up the pole until we don't want it to anymore. So it looks kind of funky right now because because I'm not all the way down at the base. But I just want to get you guys to understand like the concept of it. Tie these together. However you tie your balloons together doesn't matter. I know some people have whatever ways, but I don't think that's... I don't think it really matters. Okay. again, we have our two pairs, right? And so if I'm going to spiral, I want my gold to start turning as I go up. So instead of starting on top of where the gold is, I'm going to start next to it. So you see how already that's going to start going like that. It's going to start going in diagonal and eventually spiral around. So we got this, opposites, we're going to cross. Ooh, they don't want to cooperate. Cross in the front, and then we're going to cross twice in the back. So that way the gold gets back to where it is. And every time, columns are really forgiving, so you really just want to look at where your gold is and then make sure it's right, it's next to where it should be. Okay. And then boom. And then you continue that up. So if you were making this and you wanted some kind of topper, which do I have? Yes, so I do have. So if you're making this and you wanted some kind of topper, let's just assume that we're all the way up at the top, right? And you're making a topper. So your topper balloon is either going to be a foil balloon or your topper is going to be another latex balloon, but larger. So I recommend for any kind of column that is large, if you're doing anything 10 inches and below, as far as your main balloons of the column are going to be 10 inches or below, then you want your topper to be double that. So you want your topper to be, if it's 10 inches, then you want your topper to be at least 20 inches. That makes sense. Okay. So I only have 24-inch gold, so that's what we're using. Bam. Big mama. Let me move this to the side. Okay, so your 24-inch, you don't have to measure this. Sorry. You don't have to measure this because we are just trying to get it to be a good size on top. It's not going to blow, we're not going to blow it up all the way to 24 inches. We're going to blow it up to maybe, like I said, double what the size of this is. So at the least, if we measure this to 7, we're going to blow it up to at least 14. But you do want to blow it up to try and stretch it out. Okay, so I haven't tied this yet. This is like huge, as you can see. Crazy. So I'm gonna let some of this out. Excuse my balloon. Excuse my balloon. Okay. So I think that's a good size on top, right? Yeah. Okay. Move that to the side real quick. Ow. I just hit myself. Okay, so before you tie this, you want to twist it a little bit. You want to get it to 60, pinch it in half, and you want to tie, see if I can get this. Hold the 260 here, okay? But you want to tie your balloon like you normally do, but make sure the 260 is in between, like that. What this does is it gives it anchor points. So when we put it on top, we will anchor it down with the 260s. So these are like little anchor points. You can call them tails, whatever you want to call them. What up, King 3612? Sorry. I'm not reading the comments. So sorry. Okay, so your topper is going to go, you're going to stop when you have at least an inch or less left. Your topper is going to go right on top of wherever your middle is. The good thing about having this covered with latex is that it will create friction so that way your topper doesn't fall off. So even if you were using a foil balloon, it will still keep the topper on because the latex that's covering this will create friction with the tails of this. So you're gonna put this on top. You're gonna make sure that if you have too much space, you're either gonna push things up, but if that messes up the bottom of your column, don't do that. You're just gonna add more balloons, add one more layer of balloons. You're gonna put this on top, and then you're gonna take one tail, go down, and wrap around, and let go. You don't have to tie it back, because again, this is creating friction. And then this other tail that's here, you're gonna go down and around. You can go down 2 sections and do like a figure 8 or just 1 section, but you wanna go down at least 1 time and around a few times. And you let go, and that will stay on. Like it's not gonna, you know, if someone hits it, not gonna fall off. So, so if you created this column, because we just did a portion of it so you guys can see, and if you want to just do a tower, this doesn't have to be a column. Like this right here is basically a tower. So you can put tassels underneath right here. You could put, if you started from the bottom and made a full column, you could do that. Or you can do another set of 8 down below and make a little, like its own little cluster of 8 down at the bottom. And then that would be a tower look. So I think for something fun like Mardi Gras, towers look really cute. For baby showers, towers look really cute, especially if the balloons are smaller and they're on a table like a centerpiece. But yeah, that's how you add your topper to either your balloon tower or your balloon column. And then it's pretty much good to go. I mean, I've never done a Mardi Gras themed anything. So when I did this, I was just like, okay, I see you colors. I see you, you know. So I really do like this. I'm going to do a full tutorial, a more in-depth tutorial on my channel of like the columns, the other things that I did, the whole garland that I did. But this, I just wanted to pop in here Friday and show you guys how this looks. Okay. And then, yeah, see you later.